few minutes left. I just want to put a few closing thoughts and just summarize some of the messages that we're hearing from all of the participants. I'll close within 3 minutes and we all finish on time. I think just summarizing what I've heard, we can say that, why are people needing data or indeed non-metric information? And we can probably put it into three clusters or buckets. The first is for the rural stakeholders, the authorities, the operators, the communities, to identify and quantify what is the current status, where are the problems. So just simply so we know what is the state of play, where do we have problems, the analysis phase, if you wish. The second is to get some good information to help us in the design and the implementation of rural mobility schemes. And also, very importantly, to have the feedback loop to know what is working, what can be improved, what do people think about it, where we may need to discontinue, expand, or just simply continue schemes. And the third is what we might call making the case. How do we prepare an application for funding? How do we convince politicians and stakeholders? How do we actually get the thing implemented? Because we need resources, we need money, we may need permissions. So we start to see that data is needed for all of these kind of things. Coming across from the 4 workshops and from our presenters and our panelists, we see that in the urban areas, the data, the modeling, the forecasting, the processes are very well developed, long established. In the rural areas, we face various challenges. First is on the data itself. Is the data available? How can we get access to relevant data? First of all, is it out there? And secondly, even if it's there with commercial entities, can small authorities, communities, can they afford to get access to commercially available data? There's also gaps in specific data. There's issues around GDPR, which maybe can be overcome. And it's clear that entities need to be very creative and work hard at gathering the data that they need. A second is completeness. And it was pointed out, for example, in one of the workshops, that commuters are only maybe about a third of all of the travel. What do we know about the balance? The majority of the people are traveling for all sorts of reasons at various kinds of the day. What is our mechanism of getting information about non-commuter data? The third is the tools. And there is a very definite lack of tools for modeling, for forecasting within rural areas. But we're hearing some interesting examples, creative as they may be, of harnessing maybe other information tools. We heard about using a bit of AI, mapping tools, and there's very much a lot of improvisation going around there. So let's see what comes out of it. And is there a way of harnessing this and assembling the knowledge that's gathering around Europe and linking it in with both commercial and non-commercial providers of tools? And the fourth is the linkage between data and funding. It's first of all the obvious one, how to apply and mobilize it, but also how to use the data to target better the money that we have or the money we could get, or money maybe that are not dedicated to mobility. But one area that clearly hasn't been covered particularly well is the monitoring and evaluation aspect of data in the linkage to funding. Are we getting the intended outcomes for the money we're putting in? Could we target it better? Should we be reallocating funds that are available in the general mobility sector to very more specific areas? And can we make the justification for more funding? So this is one of the big feedback loops I think we need to look at within our sector, is the monitoring and the evaluation. So these are just some thoughts within 3 minutes of things that have come out of our discussion today. We have the possibility within the SMARTA-NET project to organize a couple of ad hoc webinars between now and the end of our project in 2024. Maybe not everybody is interested, but certainly some people are. And let's hear from you and we'll see if we organize something additional ad hoc. I just want to close, as we just exactly get to the hour, a big thank you to the people within the SMARTA-NET team, in particular, the team at E40, Dina for doing the moderation, and Nita and her colleague Amesha for organizing the platform which we've had today, the MemEx team for organizing the invites and the interactions, and especially the Pantea team for organizing the agenda and mobilizing the panel discussions. And of course, a big thank you to all of you who've participated within this. A reminder, as Andrea said, our next event is in Évora, in person, 14th to 16th of May. And for those of you who can't join us in person, please save the date, 3rd of July, for our 4th and final webinar of this series. So with that, I thank you very much and hand over to Adina to close.